Have you ever been blindsided by a situation in life that just took you down? You didn't see it coming. Circumstances began to hit your life, and maybe you weren't prepared with the skills or the tools that you needed to deal with whatever situation was coming your way. And you found your life spiraling downward. You didn't know what to do about it. If you can relate to that, or a girlfriend you know, or a loved one has ever experienced that situation, and I know many people have, then you are going to love today's show. I am about to introduce to you a special friend of mine who is my guest on today's show, Pearl Chiarenza. Now, I met Pearl several years ago. It's been interesting on my journey as an author, the amazing women that I've had the privilege of meeting and crossing paths with. And Pearl and I found ourselves as co-authors in the same book. She lives in Florida, I live in Texas. We had never met before. And we found ourselves together at the book launch of a book called Behind Her Brand, a book for female entrepreneurs. And we hit it off immediately. Pearl is a dynamic fireball of energy, and you're about to see what I'm talking about. About 10 years ago, Pearl was hit with one of these situations of life happening, just very difficult situations that were hitting her one after another, and she found herself in a very down time, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And then some things happened that began turning her life around. In today's show, Pearl is going to share what she has done to take a very, very devastating time of her life and turn it into something incredibly powerful and positive, where she is now impacting other women with her life calling. I'm excited to introduce to you today my friend, Pearl Chiarenza. I am so excited to be here with my friend Pearl Chiarenza. Pearl, thank you so much for driving over. It's so fun to be in Florida, where you live.
Yes, I'm sorry that it's cold. I'm sorry we don't have a lot of sun today, but it will come back for you.
Yeah, I was telling all my friends, I'm going to sunny Florida. I'm in sunny Florida, and we're wearing long sleeves and jeans today. So it's just part of it. But you know what? A day at the beach, no matter what the weather, is better than any other day anyway.
Absolutely.
So
especially when you're good with great friends. So
absolutely.
Awesome. Yes.
So Pearl, I've told everyone a little bit about you. Let's just jump right into this time together, because I'm so excited for you to share your story with the viewers and the audience that's going to be listening to this today, and hopefully sharing this. And just rewind a little bit, maybe 10 years or so, and tell us a little bit about Pearl and your journey through the last 10 years of your life.
Wow. Okay, so 10 years ago, we were moving from Virginia to here. Right about this time, as a matter of fact, we brought the boys down. My boys are now 23 and 19. They were in 4th and 1st grade. And so we moved down here, and it was about a few months later, my family dynamics totally changed. My parents called, and they're going through a divorce after 43 years of marriage.
Wow.
My kids were unhappy. And I had just had a complete hysterectomy, so my whole health was changing as well. And so I was finding that I just wasn't happy. And I had to look inside and see what that meant to change that. And I had to start with, first, what was making me unhappy. I was unhappy with my parents' divorce, and because I was the oldest, I felt like I had to take that on. After talking to my pastor, he was like, listen, this is not your divorce. This is their divorce. You can be there to support as much as you can, but that's their divorce. So that kind of helped me deal with that. And then with the hysterectomy, I was only 44 years old. I started really having weight issues. And I didn't want to do drugs. I just didn't want to be in all that pharmaceutical wave of stuff. And so I decided to do something. So I found a program to help me lose my weight. I started in Memorial Day weekend, actually, a crazy weekend to get started. And so I went on this journey to become a healthier a version of myself. And so I lost the weight over a period of time. October is when I finished. I lost 54 pounds. I even went to Italy on the program. It was really amazing that I traveled Italy and ate healthy. And it's easy to do that in Italy because everything's so fresh. So in doing that, I started realizing that I found who I was. I found my voice again. I found that I had a passion to help women. At the time, 10 years ago when I started my business, because once I lost my weight, I decided to open up a clinic to show and reach out to the community about what it was I was doing. And in doing that, I was helping men and women, but over the last 10 years, my business has really evolved into where now I realize that I'm helping more women. I love the men still. I still help a few gentlemen that come to me. However, it just kind of like has now evolved into, we've gone from what we were called Bodyworks Health and Wellness Center to rebranding to Women's Successful Living. And so many great things have come out of that happening because of that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you lost 54 pounds.
54 pounds, yeah.
Over the course of, a couple of years, a few years?
No, actually I started May of 10 years ago, so what are we in, 2019? May of 2009, sorry. And I finished October of that year. So I lost 54 pounds from, what's that, 6-7 months time frame?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I started with a bunch of girlfriends, and unfortunately their journey has not been as successful as mine has been, but it's, for me, I have to be healthy, because if I'm not healthy inside, I don't feel great outside. I would never stand in front of a video and do this if I wasn't that healthy. I wouldn't be in front of my mirror being comfortable and getting ready every day for work either. So, yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. That's a powerful, powerful story. And so what's interesting about that you took a difficulty in your life and some tough times, and you channeled your energy into doing something really positive for you.
Yes.
Losing weight, feeling better about yourself on the inside, getting healthier. And then you launched a company called Women's Successful Living. So fast forward a little bit into that journey, and what types of things, as you've gone out to make a difference in the lives of other women, have you been doing and offering for women?
Wow, so it's been an amazing, I have to give credit. I went to a women's empowerment event that was for women entrepreneurs, really more geared towards that. And I walked away from that saying, hey, I want to do something just for the everyday women, moms, entrepreneurs like myself, just somebody who has a family to take care of, or maybe they didn't have a family and they're trying to go to college and balance their life. They're trying to, change a career, or they're going to retire and they want to know, what does that look like for me now? And so Women's Successful Living is what came to me, and it's just a women's empowerment movement that I can help women transition through different areas in their lives, like going through a divorce and what happens after divorce, and just women getting together and uplifting each other, and knowing that we have a dream, we have, fears, that we have to get over our fears of going after what that dream is, whatever it is inside, and also be able to say, I can stand in my worthiness and say, I'm worth this dream, and I can recognize that I have these fears, and now I'm learning how to come over those fears through the different retreats that we do at Women's Successful Living. We're uplifting women. We're saying, come along with us. Let's help you. Let's empower you to do those things you've been holding back, because we take care of our kids. We take care of our careers, our houses. We don't stop and say, hey, I got to take care of me first before I can take care of all of them. Because if you don't take care of you first, you can't successfully take care of them. We'll take care of them, but we'll be stressed. We'll try to figure out where that time is. Oh, Johnny's got to be picked up at the school, or that boss wants me to stay late, but I had a date night with my husband. How do you balance all that? And so that's where Women's Successful Living came from.
I love that. So when Pearl and I, when we really met,
yeah.
First of all, we co-authored a book together, and we never had met each other before.
Yep.
We just happened to be co-authors in a book called Behind Your Brand.
Yep.
And we briefly met at the book launch of that book a couple of years ago, and then a couple of months later, we found ourselves back in Dallas
Yep.
for a conference, a 2-day workshop for female entrepreneurs in the world of marketing and branding ourselves. And I remember standing up because I had just had the idea. I felt like it was a God moment that I would start hosting women's retreats, and that I would call them toes in the sand women's retreats, because I wanted them to be on the beach where we can really have that incredible connection to our Creator. And at that same time, I remember you running up to me and saying that you were in the process of planning your first women's retreat.
Yep. And I said, I have the platform for you to come to when you come to Florida, and you came to Florida. It was like, I think that was August that we had met.
Yes.
And we did that business thing, and then it was April that next year that you came out. We met in April, and it was August that year. Yep.
That I came out, and I remember you called it a PJ retreat.
Yeah, PJ retreat.
And so Pearl did not allow us to wear makeup, and we had to wear our PJs all day on that Saturday.
Yep.
And I can remember thinking, and I was going to be one of the speakers.
You were
And I remember
first.
that morning thinking, okay, I'm speaking in front of a room. Do I put on a little bit of, do I cheat and put on a little bit of mascara? Because this feels kind of weird having no makeup on. But I love the idea that you were trying to communicate, and I think you do this at all your retreats.
Yep, all retreats.
That be your authentic, true self.
It's interesting because everybody kind of looks at me like going, no makeup on. I'm like, listen, I'm the first one to say, oh, I don't know if I could do that. But we found at that retreat, I mean, Lisa was one of the first or second one to speak. And I think you were second. And as soon as Lisa started speaking, there was women in the room that really started opening up, and they were really giving them themselves. And I think what happens is we put makeup on because we want to, we don't want people to see what's really happening with us on the inside, and we have to change that. And that's what my retreats are for. That first retreat, we saw women leave an abusive relationship. We saw women close a business and start a new business. We saw women create some vision boards and go after their vision boards. And the stories, since that first retreat, have been evolving. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, we still do no makeup. We still do pajamas. It's just really amazing. And this year, our next one is coming up on April 5th. And we have a huge house. We have the option to stay an extra night just to kind of be pampered on yourself. So, but we have, you come Friday evening, and Saturday we get started, no makeup, wear your pajamas. And really, even our speakers have to do no makeup. We have amazing speakers this year. Some have had some tragic loss in their lives with their little one. We have women who have gone through a really difficult divorce that are speaking. We have another one that's had been stayed home, homeschooling her daughter, and been very successful at that. And then we have just amazing women. We have like 8 speakers. We have Pam, if anybody knows Pam Owens. She's coming in from Texas to be our master of ceremonies for the weekend and mix it up and make it lots of fun, which Pam's good at. But really to pour into the women that are attending and just say, we're here for you. We want to uplift you. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, because we've all gone through something at some point in our lives.
So I went to your first retreat, and then Pearl turned around and came to Texas.
Yep.
And flew out for mine that just about a month or two later.
Yep,
so that was really an amazing experience. And one of the things that we were talking about earlier, and that's such a essential element to this show, is that idea of connecting. There is power in connecting. And we're talking a lot in my Toes in the Sand with Lisa's show about connecting. There's 3 kind of entities that we want to connect with. We want to connect with our Creator, connect more deeply with ourselves, and just our our purpose and our passions and the things that God has gifted us to do to make a difference in the world. And then the third is connecting with other like-minded women.
Absolutely.
And what a just a pivotal, just a crucial part of our lives that is.
It really is.
And so I'd love for you to share a little more about just connecting and how how our retreats, your retreat and mine both, really provide a place for that.
I really believe in taking and looking at another woman and saying, how can we be attached to the hip? How can I help you, and how can we connect? And so I do the retreats to help with the connection and to create those connections. We have women that share a room together at the retreats, and they don't even know each other. Mm-hmm. And there's some of them now are best friends. They do things together, and have done date nights together with their spouses, and it's just expanded that way. And so having the true connection, not just going and saying, oh, I'm doing this video with Lisa. I mean, Lisa and I have great connections. I could have easily done this video from my house. Even though she was here, I was like, no, I'm driving over the hour. It takes me an hour to get here. I'm coming over.
I love that you did.
Yes.
I love that you did. This is so special.
And I think that's important. Is how can we connect instead of just on the phone or just a FaceTime or something? And maybe whether it's coffee or doing a girls' weekend, what are those true connections? Because it can be, let's go have coffee with you, and we go out coffee. But what kind of questions and what kind of things can I look for to know that, hey, Lisa's talking with me, but maybe she's got something going on that she's not sharing with me, and how do we dig deep into that? And so we're actually starting a mastermind. We're finishing putting all the details together. It's going to launch in April, and it's going to be a mastermind on truly connecting with the women in your life. And it doesn't have to be just like a girlfriend. I mean, your moms. How to connect with our mothers? I'm going to be honest with you. My relationship with my mom is, it's very different. It's not where I want it to be. I love her to death. We definitely talk every day, but I know it could be deeper and the things that she's gone through. so how can we connect with our moms, with our daughters, with other young women in our lives? We have actually going to be starting off a young girls thing too. I've had young girls come and say, you're doing things for these women, what about us? So finding out what our youth need too, that we're bringing up a strong, amazing women, and so how can we reach out to them?
We need those deeper connections with other women.
We absolutely do.
And we need to surround ourselves. I mean, the most valuable people in my life, besides my spouse, are those friends that are, I call them balcony people.
Yeah.
People that we lift each other up.
Yeah.
We always are cheering. And in fact, Pearl and I are on the 16th floor of the Wyndham Grand Hotel. I wish you could actually see the view that we're looking at. In fact, I'm going to turn it around. I thought I could flip it from the video, but maybe not. Okay, well, we can delete that part out. And we're looking at just as far as the eye can see, this beautiful blue water. And, you know, as I'm standing up here on this balcony, what I think about is those people in our lives that are cheering for us. You know, they're standing up here and we're walking in our parade, and we're trying to be somebody. We're trying to step out and do something to make a difference. We're trying to use our gifts and our skills and be the best that we can be and do all that God created us to do. And there are always going to be those people that try to tear a person down. They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to be everything you can be.
So true.
And so I know that you and I have that in common. We love to surround ourselves with people that are cheering us on, and we want to cheer them on.
Yes.
And you're so that in my life, and I thank you for that.
You are mine too.
You're such a balcony person. Pearl and I have so much in common. We've just had so much fun the last couple of years, even though we live like 2,000 miles away.
We have
keep
so many.
in touch.
We do. We keep in touch, and we have like we're on like the same path. And you guys watch, because I know that there's an international retreat coming for us. I just know there's an international retreat coming.
Yeah, we're going to host a women's retreat together at some point. We wish we had specific details to put on this website, but
not yet.
You know, in the meanwhile, boy, if you can attend Pearl's retreat, and you'll find all of her information on her website that's posted here below. You know, look into Women Successful Living, look into Pearl's retreats, look into her mastermind group.
Yes, the mastermind group. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing mastermind group. Because the other thing too, in connection, you're talking about having those cheerleaders.
Yes.
The other thing too that we want women to know is also to recognize those ones that are not your cheerleader, and how to, you know, our mastermind is going to talk about how to gracefully let that person know that I love you and you're just not my cheerleader, but I'm still here for you. You know, I still want to do things that are positive. And you know, I've had that in my own life too. So, you know, how to recognize that and how to know, is it a true connection? So those are things we're going to cover in the mastermind as well. And you know, having, like Lisa said, our connection, it's funny. I always say, think outside the box and how you're going to meet the women in your life. I met a really good friend. She stayed in a hotel room with me. Somebody needed another room to stay in. We shared the same bed, and now we're like really good friends. And she comes here, and I come there, and so it's just, you know, think outside the box of who that woman that you can connect with is. You know, because there may be a lady you walk into a room, and I challenge you, if you walk into a room and there's all these women there, you see a lady or a woman standing there by herself, go up and talk to her. Go out and find out her story and just introduce yourself. And you never know what the connection's going to be that you make.
What's been one of the biggest challenges in that journey? And then what's been one of the biggest joys in that journey?
That's a powerful question. I think the biggest challenge is kind of going back to what I said about knowing who those cheerleaders are not in your life.
Okay.
You know, and knowing, I've learned lessons like setting up contracts. Like, I might have another woman that, you know, may have been a personal trainer or something that might have gone along with what I offered my clients, and be like, hey, I think we should partner up together. You know, I want to promote her, and, you know, she supposedly was going to promote me. And then recognizing that I didn't do a contract with her, so I kept like sending clients and referrals to her, and that wasn't coming back. Make sure the connections you have in your business are there to promote you and your business. And make sure you put things in contract, because it's better to have it in writing so everybody understands what's happening.
That's good.
What was the other question?
What has been one of your biggest joys about your business the last few years?
So the last few years is really watching Women Successful Living evolve. Really watching the women that we're impacting. I'm in this beauty pageant concert. It's a Shark Tank / beauty pageant that's happening. I've been in it for the past year. And every month we're challenged to put things together that's going to improve our business. And I recognize that everything I've done is somehow or another empowering another woman.
Pearl, you're such a, I would say you're a very courageous woman in your life. You're very bold. I know that you probably face fears all the time, but I've seen you step into those and do it anyway, knowing that what's on the other side of that is going to be impacting someone's life. And I've seen you take risks and chances and do some pretty big things with your business. Let's go back for just a minute to your journey in the health and wellness industry, getting yourself healthy. Really, cluing into good nutrition and things that we put in our bodies and how important that is to not only our overall health, our energy, our mindset, our attitudes. I know you've got a fairly new company that you're excited about, just that you're sharing about and helping other people in that way. So I, because I'm always evolving and I'm trying to make sure I'm bringing my clients the best that's available. And so we have one product that's based on a package program, and it's you eat a packet 3 times a day. However, I know that that's not how we should be living. We need to be having whole food, real food eating. And so I give my clients choices, and I just brought on a new company. It's called TLS, and the great thing about it is it's based around whole food eating. So I'm teaching clients now. I became certified as a naturopathic health coach, and so through that certification, I'm able to walk with them into a grocery store and help them read the labels and find out what's a good carbohydrate they should eat, what's the right dairy, what's the right fats to eat. And I constantly, I've always done it, but now I feel like I have that certification behind me. With this new company, it's allowed me to do that. We have so much stress in our lives. One product that I carry around, I just had somebody text me and said, do you have a bottle with you? It's called Bliss. And the Bliss basically helps with anxiety. It helps with stress. It's based on flowers, so it's all from different flowers that we plant in our yard. I know there's such a heightened awareness now and just a hunger, no pun intended, for natural products that can help with so many things. I know that we were talking about a thyroid issue earlier, and I have struggled with a thyroid issue off and on over the years, and discovered a nodule on the front of my neck 3 years ago, which sent me into a whole slew of doctor's appointments and endocrinologists. And what I finally discovered was that there were natural ways that I could deal with that hormonal imbalance. And so I love that you're adding that to your business now and to your clients. Okay, so you're excited. What's coming down the pike for you when you look down the road?
Wow. Okay, so down the pike, Lisa doesn't know this yet. So I still have fears that I have to come over. I have a fear of height and I have a fear of swimming. Okay, so
as we're on the 16th floor, you have a fear. Now you're telling me this.
So, but I'm here, right? So
you're here.
My fear of height is like getting out and zip lining. The things that are holding you back from moving, having fun things. I won't skydive. Sorry, it will never happen. But so we're going to have a retreat later this year. It's going to be like an overnight, 1-day retreat where it's going to be an adventure retreat. So we're going to go zip lining, and it's going to be my first time ever doing it. So we're going to put that together in October. We also are starting, I have a good friend, Shari. Her and I are doing a lot of things together. She's a raw vegan, so she cooks nothing. So the next 30 days, we're doing 30 days of vegan eating for dummies. I told her I have to have some meat. I can't not have like some sort of protein, so she's teaching me alternatives. So that's coming up. That'll be fun. So just watch my journey. There's no you don't have to sign up or anything. It's just kind of part of what we're doing. But down the line, next year, I have 2 big goals. One is definitely to have a retreat that's somewhere internationally, and whether it's Bahamas or Italy, someplace internationally. But the other one is to have a retreat for young women. So we're going to have young girls from like 16 to 20 years old kind of get together and develop mentorships for young women. So that will be by August of next year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pearl has some exciting things on her calendar and on her vision board and her list of goals. And we're so excited about that. And we'll be looking for information on all of that.
I'm excited to share.
And Pearl has a great website where you'll find a lot of information that she shared about today. So please visit that.
Yes.
And I know Pearl would love for you to stay in touch with her.
Absolutely.
And any questions that you have about some specific things that she talked about, she's great about getting back and responding. So
Awesome.
Pearl,
I'm
thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your
This was
time
great.
today.
I
This was
appreciate
so much fun
So
on the
awesome.
16th floor of the Wyndham
Yes.
Grand Hotel.
Yes.
We wish you all have a
Bye.
great week. Bye-bye. I appreciate you watching today, and I'd love to give you my free ebook called Toes in the Sand. If you'll just jump on my website at toesinthesandwithlisa.com and then be looking for an email with a downloadable version of my book called Toes in the Sand, My Journey from Domestic Engineer to Entrepreneur. If you'd like to connect with my community of encouraging, inspiring women, I'd like to invite you to join my Facebook group called Toes in the Sand Sisters, and also like my page at Toes in the Sand with Lisa. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my friends here at Kiepersol Winery. I'm so appreciative of them for inviting me into their beautiful vineyard and into their beautiful family, and for being so supportive of my show. You see, if you go to Kiepersol.com, you're going to see something about this place. It is so much more than just a winery. This is truly my happy place in East Texas. And you're going to find more than just a place to visit. You're going to find an experience of peace, an experience of wonderfully friendly people, beautiful East Texas sunsets, and some of the most incredible wines, spirits, and foods you've ever tasted. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Mike Roth, who's right now standing behind that video camera and helping me video this show. And also a thank you to Travis Bowles and T Bowles Video for producing my show. I also appreciate the teams at Women on TV and Direct Sales TV for hosting my Toes in the Sand show. And last but not least, I want to thank my husband Chris, who is my biggest cheerleader in all the adventures of my life. Thanks again for joining me today for Toes in the Sand. And I look forward to the next time that we can take a few minutes, slow down, connect, and together put our toes in the sand.